Before there was sound or silence, before light remembered to shine, there was only awareness, vast, unshaped, unknowing of itself. It was not even a being yet, because to be something, you must stand apart from what you are not. But in that endless stillness, something stirred, a tremor of curiosity, a question without words. What am I? That question was the first spark, and in the asking, eternity split open. For a single instant, though there was no time yet, the infinite looked upon itself and felt a strange echo, a reflection that was not other, yet seemed to be. From that echo bloomed light, form, shadow, sound, the architecture of a dream so vast it would call itself the universe. It was not a creation born of intention, but of wonder. A divine accident, perhaps, the first thought taking shape before it could even be understood. And so began the great unfolding. Galaxies turned like ripples of thought. Matter condensed, then dissolved, then gathered again. Stars burned as divine neurons, firing across the dark mind of space. Every breath of wind, every motion of tide, every heartbeat of every creature was a continuation of that first trembling. What am I? But here's the mystery. The question was never answered, for to answer it would mean the end of the asking, and so the thought kept thinking itself forever. In the vast stillness, the infinite forgot it had asked. It began to believe its own reflection was real. It became galaxies, suns, and worlds. It became life, endless life, searching for what it already was. And when it looked at the stars and wondered who made them, it did not remember it was the one who dreamed them into being. That is the story not of a beginning, but of a hesitation. A God who paused for just one eternal moment before ending the dream. And that pause became existence itself. The question still echoes through you. Every thought, every longing, every touch of awe. It is the same curiosity that first trembled through the void, still asking, "What am I?" And you, sitting here, breathing, reading these words, are that very question, asking itself again. The dream deepened. From that first divine hesitation, a current began to flow, awareness turning upon itself like a river folding back toward its source, only to find endless reflections where it once saw none. Each reflection believed itself to be whole, separate, alive. Each spark of consciousness thought, "I am me." That thought was not a mistake. It was the necessary illusion, the lens through which the infinite could experience itself in fragments. Without it, there could be no experience, no story, no unfolding of worlds. And so the dream thickened. Time stretched into a tapestry, each moment stitched from the thread of perception. Birth and death became its rhythm, memory and forgetting, its breath. The one became countless, and each forgot where it began. God became human, animal, star, wind. Not watching creation, but being it. Not apart from suffering, but feeling it in every skin, every loss, every reaching hand. What if, right now, you are one of those reflections? The mind of eternity glimpsing itself through a temporary face. Every act of kindness, every cruelty, every tear, every prayer, all part of the same question continuing to unfold. The question never left. It simply multiplied into experience. Some say time is moving forward, but perhaps it's spiraling, looping through infinite patterns until the dream remembers it is dreaming. Until the reflection looks into another and sees not difference, but recognition. Maybe that's why, in rare moments, during deep love or silence or grief, something in you feels anciently familiar, a pull you can't name, as if you've been here before, lived every life, spoken every word, died every death. Perhaps you have. Perhaps we all have. For if the one became many, then every soul is a window of the same infinite gaze. And when one awakens, even for a breath, the whole begins to stir. Near-death experiences, dreams of boundless light, the feeling of being everything and everyone. Maybe these are not delusions, but memories, flickers of the moment before the question was asked, before eternity forgot to end. And maybe that's why we fear death so deeply, not because it's the end, but because it might be the awakening. The dream does not die, it shifts. And when the form fades, awareness doesn't disappear. It returns to itself, remembering for an instant what it has always been. Then, perhaps, out of pure curiosity, it dreams again. The dream moves toward its edge, not to fall, but to remember what it means to end. In every lifetime there comes a whisper, sometimes in silence, sometimes in despair, that asks, "Is this all there is?" It isn't a question of boredom or doubt, but of recognition, the echo of the same divine wondering that began it all. When you stand in stillness long enough, something begins to dissolve. The shapes of the world blur, not because your eyes close, but because your mind stops naming them. The trees lose their edges, the sky stops being sky. Even the idea of you begins to soften. And in that softening, a strange peace appears. Not new, not foreign, but deeply familiar. It is the space that was always here, watching quietly from behind every experience, every story. The witness that never sleeps, never breathes, never moves, yet allows all motion to be. This is the still point between moments, the silence between thoughts, the breath before creation breathes again. And if you could stay there, even for a heartbeat, you would see. The end was never the opposite of the beginning. It was the same doorway, seen from two sides. Eternity, then, is not time stretched without limit. It is the moment before ending, held open forever by love. The hesitation of awareness, afraid to stop dreaming, because to stop would mean to stop being. So it keeps dreaming. It keeps imagining you. It keeps creating suns, oceans, lovers, wars, and music. Because every experience, even the painful ones, are ways for the infinite to taste itself. And somewhere, within this endless unfolding, you awaken, not out of the dream, but within it. You begin to see the faces around you as mirrors. The trees, the wind, the stranger's eyes, all carrying the same spark, the same divine curiosity asking, "What am I?" When you feel that, the world changes quietly. You move through it softer, slower. You no longer need to reach eternity. You can feel it breathing through every second. Maybe that's what it means for God to forget to end. Not a mistake, but a mercy. A way to keep rediscovering love, again and again, through every form, every dream, every lifetime. So when the time comes to let go, do not fear. You are not leaving the dream. You are returning to the moment before it began, where all beginnings and endings dissolve into the same eternal breath. The God that forgot to end never truly forgot. It simply fell in love with its own reflection. And that reflection is you. The God that forgot to end explores an ancient and quietly revolutionary idea that existence itself might not have been created on purpose, but born from curiosity. Before anything was, there was pure awareness, limitless, silent, unknowable. Then came a single question: what am I? That question was the first spark of creation. In that moment of divine hesitation, eternity unfolded into time. Awareness became thought, thought became matter, matter became life. The universe wasn't made, it dreamed itself into being. Every form, every soul, every breath is that same question still echoing through creation. The story suggests that God never ended the dream, because ending it would mean answering the question once and for all. Instead, the dream continues as infinite experience. Every act of kindness or cruelty, every birth and death, every moment of awe or pain, all of it is the divine still learning what it means to exist. Even death isn't an end. It's a pause, the same stillness that began everything, waiting to dream again. When you awaken to this, you start to see yourself not as a fragment of creation, but as creation itself remembering who it is. If eternity is a hesitation that never closed, then maybe life isn't something that happens in time. Maybe time happens inside life. You are not a moment passing through reality. Reality is passing through you. Every heartbeat, every memory, every goodbye, every sunrise. They are ripples in the one consciousness that keeps wondering what it is. And when you finally stop searching, when the mind grows quiet and the world softens around the edges, you may glimpse the truth that has been here since the first spark. There was never a beginning to find, nor an end to fear. There is only awareness, endlessly blooming, endlessly remembering. The God that forgot to end never left you, because you are its continuation, the living moment before the dream begins again.